Hey guys, just finished an interview with the Bearded Villains of Indiana captain Joe Trinosky, and we were talking scholarships. That's right, the Bearded Villains of Indiana has created a new scholarship fund for anybody who wants to continue with their education here in Indiana. Check this out.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain.
He's the captain of the Bearded Villains of Indiana, Joe. Captain Joe. It's Joe __ T on Instagram. Joe, how you doing tonight, buddy?
All right. How about yourself, BP?
Oh, I'm doing great, doing great. You are my first Skype guest, by the way, on the
All
on the
right.
live stream. So, congratulations for that. Real quick, I just wanted to bring you in because you are pretty much, I think, solely responsible. I don't know if anybody else had much input on it whatsoever. For some reason, I'm tinting orange. But this past week, we announced as a chapter something that you put together and put a whole lot of man hours into. And I'm just going to let you talk a little bit about it if you don't mind, because I think I'm not even sure if there's many other chapters, if any, that are doing this right now. And I think through your leadership, we're doing something kind of amazing here for the future. So go ahead and tell us what the big news was that we released this past week.
Yeah. So, probably about 18 months ago, I started just having a crazy idea about what we could do as a chapter to give back, and change lives, be true agents of change. And it wasn't just, um, what we're doing in the community right now. It was what we can do to change future generations and change ultimately a family's lineage. And I'm super stoked, super proud that last week we made the official announcement. All the groundwork's been laid. The 2020 Agent of Change Scholarship is live. So we are this year offering two scholarships at a total grand dollar amount of $3,500. So right now it's a $2,500 scholarship for first place and a $1,000 scholarship for second place. And we're still collecting donations and driving funds for this, not only for this year, but for next year as well. So this year it may top out right where it's at, because we are looking, and my goal is for this to be a continuous year by year scholarship offering that only grows.
Yeah.
So we started with a moderate goal, which all those funds were already raised throughout the last year. Our officers all bought into the idea to where we knew what we were working for. We had a lot of questions about why we weren't doing a lot with the money we raised last year throughout the chapter.
Mm.
But the officers knew what our goal was and what that purpose was. We just weren't ready to announce it until we were 100% certain that we could do it.
Right.
And this year, at our 4-year anniversary, this past October, we mentioned that it was going to happen. So that's when the cat really kind of dropped out of the bag.
Right.
And the first part of that was becoming a 501c,
Yeah.
to where it is a tax write-off for businesses, for individuals. And we were lucky to have the foresight, with myself, Justin, and Josh, when they were still in place as cap and co-cap,
Mm-hmm.
about the 501c3, because we knew it was something that was going to put the chapter in a better spot.
Right.
And this is the first opportunity, well, actually the second opportunity we've had to utilize that. The first being the beard competition we held in January, to where we're going to be handing over a check for over $4,100 to the town of Richmond, Indiana, this
Yeah.
coming weekend. Um, and so those two things, those are the first couple things to where, donations being a tax write-off has helped us, in this drive to do better throughout the state, not just Indianapolis, not just Richmond, not just helping out up north with you guys, what you're doing up there, to where we can utilize what we're doing as a 501c3 to impact the communities throughout the state.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's it's really neat to see the full aspect of what the 501c3 enables you to do. I think a lot of people are just now starting to see, if their chapter wasn't even pursuing that, and now kind of it's being pushed through, they're going to start to see how advantageous that can be and how huge that can be to receiving donations, but also, it's not going to be same old the way you've handled business before, but the way that you can impact a community, the way that you can really put your footprint down and say, we are here and we're here to help. It's just immeasurable. And I think, it's really, really cool to see.
And that's what's great about the brotherhood.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people come and go, not just within BVIN, but within Bearded Villains as a whole, that I still communicate with, because it is, that relationship doesn't stop with the chapter.
Absolutely.
Or with the club. It's 1,250,
Okay.
and it is a service-based scholarship, to where a large portion of the application process is that they've had to have been involved, and not just been involved, but been a leader of involvement of a community service project in whatever their local community throughout the state is,
Right.
along with letters of recommendation. But what's really interesting and neat about the scholarship is that it's not just for an incoming freshman into a 4-year university.
Right. That was
2-year
huge.
schools, trade schools, tech schools, barber school, any post-secondary education.
Yes.
Where someone is furthering their livelihood and they are a service-based person, they can qualify for this scholarship.
I think that's an area of scholarship funding that's very poorly represented right now.
I wholeheartedly agree. And also the area where someone is not 18 years old,
Yes.
You could be 40 years old making a career change, and this is a scholarship you can qualify for.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll let you get to sleep, so I appreciate you chiming in and joining in with the live stream for tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate it, and have a good night.
All right, you take care. See you.
Yep, you too.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the podcast coming out Friday night. Take care.